Thank you so very much, and welcome back. Once again, it is time for the golden age of DC Comics, 365 days, where I take this beloved hardcover coffee table book given to me about 2 decades ago by one of my best friends. This has been surfing my coffee table ever since, and has been a great and constant source of comic book shop style conversations, the kind I intend to recreate with you today. Hello. What goes great with a coffee table and coffee table books and coffee table talk about comic books? Well, pull up a chair and grab a cup of tea, cup of chocolate milk, or your soy latte at 142 degrees, whatever it is. You are welcome here. Pull up a chair and join us, please. That's a good cup of coffee. Is my poison. My dentist knows. My dentist, she was like, is there any way you can drink less coffee? And I'm like, no. I'm up at 3:30 in the morning on work days. And she's like, well, thank you for being honest with me. I'm going to use a more abrasive polish this time. And yes, this is a recreation of an actual conversation I had with my dentist. That's why you tune in. The golden age of DC Comics runs between 1938 and 1955. The Silver Age starts in 1956 and goes to 1970. The Bronze Age, I'm a Bronze Age baby, runs from 1970 to about 1985. And the Copper Age begins in 1985. I get these terms and definitions from the glossary of the most current edition of the Overstreet Comic Book Price Guide. This is an invaluable resource for any comic book fan, and the glossary is just chock full of good terminologies. I would totally tell any comic book fan that does not currently own this to pick this up. I also will tell you to get these 2 books as well. These are invaluable. This was fun. I just picked this up again very recently. I had this when I was a kid, and this explains a lot about the art that produces the panels of the stories that we enjoy. It's about it's about art, and it's about how we go from figure into form and into story, into hero, into action. Comic books are a wonderful application of art, of drawing, of visual art, and inking, and of painting, and of also words meeting pictures. I'm in love with comic books. I hope you are too. This is Understanding Comics by Scott McCloud. This is a graphic novel about how comic books are the history of comic books, and the little ins and outs of art and what goes into it. Sequential art. What kind of panels are we using? Here's a story. And look, it's got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 2, 4, 6, 54, 53, 54, 52, 51, 52, 51 panels? 52 panels? And you can crop that down to 2. And like how it's about reduction, and how it's about, and pardon me for my bad math skills. I'm a mouth breather. I'm an artist, not a thinker. I don't. But yeah, this is a good example of, in the following page, and then this part right here about how you read the panels in their sequence. Is this an eye closing, or is this an eye opening? It would be an eye opening in Japanese manga if read in the proper order. Yeah, things like this. I love talking about comic books. Well, let's get to it. I also do something called the escapism caveat. I'm now including that at the end of the videos. I gave it a dedicated video. Leave a comment. Tell me how you feel about balancing the needs of activism and advocacy and agenda versus simple storytelling and escapism. Our ability to leave behind the world's problems, not be constantly reminded of them, or new social mores. I'm going to leave that for the end of the show. Tune in. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe. That's how we roll here. Let's get to it. I use this 365 days book for its intended purpose. We're going to open up to today's date. It is September the 6th. We're going to look at some comic book art from an antediluvian age. We're going to read the blurb, and then we're going to talk about comic books. And we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. So let's get to it. Let's crack this book open. Hope you're doing awesome. Hope you're feeling well. And I hope that you're clobbering your problems and not being clobbered by them. Let's do this. Hello. Story by Gardner Fox. Art by Jack Burnley from All Star Comics. Number 9, February, March of 1942. The United States has just entered World War II. And we have Ted Knight, the original Starman, with his gravity rod. Let's read the narrative caption together. I'll try to use my Ted Knight SuperFriends narrator voice. This is true. The 10 mines of Bolivia are known the world over. Also, the largest lake in South America is 12,500 feet above sea level in Bolivia. Lake Titicaca. This water never freezes and will not rust steel. Bolivia is a mighty mining nation, producing 1/4 of the world's tin and being rich in tungsten, silver, lead, zinc, antimony, copper, and gold. Bolivia is a precious resource. Bolivia is a nation state in South America. We'll get to that. And about interests, foreign interests, domestic interests. What's a banana republic? Does it have anything to do with what we're reading today? These are the questions we have. All right, let's read. As a superhero collective, the Justice Society of America fought World War II with an enthusiasm unmatched by any hero or group in the DC family. And a little caveat to that, I believe that the you know who over on the Axis part of Germany. I don't want to say these words in these terms. You get flagged with the algorithm. It's unfortunate, but you know who. It's a bad accent, isn't it? You don't know who I'm talking about. It's his initials are AH, not Johnny Depp's ex-wife either. This individual had an ancient holy relic called the Spear of Longinus. I believe so, the Spear of Destiny, and that's why the superheroes of America could not enter Germany and just take it over. If you're wondering, why didn't Superman just go and just take over Berlin? There's an answer to that, and I'll look it up a little later. Let's read the blurb, and we'll get to it. Perhaps the explanation lay in the fact that their adventures were published by a sister company, All American. It's possible that publisher MC Gaines or JSA writer Gardner Fox had contact with various government agencies that were eager to get their message to the public. We see the escapism caveat. It's about not just about activism, yet it's about advocacy, agenda, and about influence. Yeah. While producer Walt Disney was being encouraged by Washington to feature our Latin American allies in his films, the JSA was called upon to help our good neighbors to the south. Starman's assignment, Bolivia. Isn't that where Sundance and Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid met their fate? Is in Bolivia. I use my business cards as a bookmark now. I think it's a good use for them. I have plenty of them. If you would like to book your own bookmark, let me know in the chat. No, I can send you one. Just give you hit me on that Twitter DM, and I'll pop a few in the mail to you. Why not? I'm cool like that. Don't dox yourself or anything. But let's see. We talked about a Fawcett hero, short-lived hero called the Red Guacho a long time ago, and he had gringo parents, And he was born in South America of Yankee parents. The Red Guacho grew to widespread fame by his dashing methods of fighting crime and oppression. And he first appeared in Nickel Comics number 4 in June of 1940, and his last appearance was in Master Comics number 13, April of 1941. And these were Fawcett publications. At that time, they were the competition of DC Comics. And the Red Guacho was basically protected people working on in banana republics from being persecuted by their usually very northern, very gringo, very capitalist interests in trying to produce goods and services to export at the price of the quality conditions and the pay of the labor who was in these nation states outside of America, in Central America and in South America. But a Banana Republic, I'm going to read this from, you guessed it, the Wiki. That's right. It's not the clothing store. We're not talking about the Gap spinoff where you would get your pith helmet and your cargo shorts in 1984. We are talking about political science. The term Banana Republic describes a politically unstable country with an economy dependent upon the export of natural resources. And in 1904, the American author O. Henry coined the term to describe Honduras and neighboring countries under economic exploitation by U.S. corporations such as United Fruit, now Chiquita Brands International. Typically, a Banana Republic has a society of extremely stratified social classes with a large, impoverished working class and a ruling class plutocracy composed of the business, political, and military elites. The ruling class controls the primary sector of economy by way of exploitation of labor. The term Banana Republic is a pejorative descriptor for a servile oligarchy that abets and supports for kickbacks the exploitation of large-scale plantation agriculture, especially banana cultivation. Now, given the entire laundry list of natural resources that we just heard that are naturally abundant in Bolivia, it was Starman under orders from, I believe, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt himself. Maybe that came later in a retcon, but to go and protect Bolivia from, well, Bolivia is in South America, which is a different continent than North America. That's separated literally by the Panama Canal, you know? And so Honduras and Guatemala, the banana republics of early 20th century of history, were North American. I got into an argument one time with someone, and they were talking about Central America, and they kept referring to it as its own continent. And I'm like, no. Central America is part of North America. Central America is not South America. Central America is not is an idea, not a continent. But also, if you know, it's every argument's a slippery slope now, huh? Every continent is what is truth. I'm not going there on this. But what I will say once again is Titicaca. That is a name that will live in infamy in mid 20th century, late 20th century jokes. For you, there is an obvious body pun there. I invite you to figure it out yourself. Guess what? We've been talking about comic books, and we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. So tune in tomorrow, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, and we'll find out who we're talking about when we turn the page tomorrow. And hold on one second. Yeah, the Nazi Spear of Destiny. It was one of the crown jewels of the Holy Roman Emperor, and it was apparently, you know, Mr. You-Know-Who with the little mustache had that, and that was why the heroes could not get into to get into Germany to topple that regime and prevent any more of its evil doing. But I was right though. It was a retcon in a way. Before we had the vocabulary for it, its first appearance was in Weird War Tales number 50, cover dated of February of 1977. So this was a Bronze Age story of the JSA and World War II, and it explains why the U.S. heroes could not just run into Germany and overthrow that evil regime and bring World War II to a quicker close. Because they intersected World War II into their stories, so you have to keep telling that story, right? Well, thank you so very much for tuning in. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. Like and subscribe. I would love to earn your subscription. And we'll see you again in the funny pages tomorrow. Cheers. Bye-bye.